Welcome back to Buff City Central, guys. It's good to be here with you all. Good pal Dorian Winthrow. Still missing Joe, but he should be back on here soon. So we wishing you the best, Joe. But today we are coming up off the weekend of Juneteenth. So let's just get a little weekend review of just what happened. So how did you think of the parade?
I actually wasn't there.
No.
How did the parade go for you?
Oh, well, I thought the parade went good. So, breaking barriers, we were a part of the parade. And basically, we marched from Bissell and Genesee all the way down to MLK Park. And for those of you who don't know Buffalo, that's low-key a long walk. So, you definitely have to make sure you're prepared for that. But other than that, it was still a nice experience. Just seeing everyone just having a good time. I'm really glad that it was a safe event, because I know everyone was just a little worried with the recent events that happened here in Buffalo, but we didn't let that stop us. We continued to have a good time and just enjoy all the festivities.
So I know that we have the biggest Juneteenth celebration in the country.
Yeah, I think top 3 or 2.
I was involved in previous years. Unfortunately, this time around I wasn't, but I want your input, like the atmosphere, the people, the people involved in the parade, what you hear, what you see. Just describe it.
So the atmosphere itself is very beautiful. This is probably like the largest event you'll ever see a group of like African Americans, black people in general, to be a part of. It's something that we really love, what we really care about. So it's just every year, last 2 years, of course, we couldn't have it because of COVID. So think about it, this was the first time in a long time that we all really been together like that as a community, and just stuff like that. It's just very satisfying seeing people friends from school. It's just a wonderful feeling.
Yeah, I always loved the music.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, the music was good.
Yeah, it's just shockwaves through your body, and the drums beating, and I always love to see some of our brothers and sisters dancing.
Yeah,
the cool performances that they put on, moving around and whatnot. And it's a great atmosphere. People are cheering and observing. People handing out their flyers and promoting things. And yeah, I always loved it. I think the last time I did go, I got skin burn.
Yeah,
sunburn, but it was I think it was cool that morning, so it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, it wasn't
cloudy.
Yeah, it was sunny, with the cool breeze to it. So the weather, it was all right.
Yeah, it was good this time around, I think, for the parade part. And,
also, it's always great to see. I forgot the organization. Oh wait, Base. I think that's what they are. With all the young girls doing their little drill dances. That's always the best part of Juneteenth. Honestly, very entertaining.
I never knew who they were. I just
now, honestly, I never knew who they were until I just seen them for years. I just knew them as the girls who drill. But I realize now, Base. Shout out to you guys. You guys do great work. But other than that, another thing what I really enjoyed about Juneteenth is after the parade and we go all the vendors. It's just seeing black people, you see a lot of black entrepreneurship happening there. So it's always great to support black owned. And I'm just thinking, just shopping here, I feel like you're doing a good thing. We're keeping the wealth within the community, which is something I think we should be doing a lot more of.
Yeah, I think for those people that make the vendors, I think that really use that to promote your stuff stronger, so that people are much more aware of it, instead of you walk by this tent and it's there may or may not be a sign, or there may not be there's no come, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just we want to keep the money within the community.
Yeah,
marketing is a strong point for that. And I feel like there could be a better, take better advantage of that. I think as entrepreneurs and business people. But there's always some unique stuff I always see at the events too. Previous years I didn't have no money, but now, so
I actually was able to buy African shea butter lotion, so I'm gonna start using that. See what they could do with this.
Yeah.
Fix this up, maybe. Hopefully.
yeah. Get skin.
Yes.
I wanted I always wanted like one of those ankhs. You know what an ankh is?
I don't know what
symbol.
that is.
It's an Egyptian symbol. Like it's like one of those.
Okay,
like
is it?
but with the T with the loop at the top.
Okay, I know what you're talking about. Those are little African crafts they be having out.
Yeah, Egyptian. It's Egyptian symbol for renewal.
Got it.
And yeah, there were a couple other things I wanted, like a dashiki.
Mm-hmm.
I got one, but I want some more. I could have got some already then.
When I get money, I will definitely be buying those little knickknacks.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be having a ton of them in my house.
But it's just like I love that atmosphere because it's like a place where people, regardless of what they might think of each other at the moment, you might see somebody in passing. I don't know, but it's a space where at least differences are put aside and people are, vibing, listening to music, kicking it with friends, and just interacting with the business people and each other. And you got a few knuckleheads around. But,
Well, I have to tell you, I'm glad you mentioned that because there was a little incident that took place. It was, so you know how Juneteenth is 2 days. So, Saturday, everything was all good and groovy. And then Sunday, I don't know what was going on like in the evening time because that's when they were like about
everything
3, 5.
happens at night.
Yeah, but it wasn't really 2 at night because the festival like ends at 7. But I guess not because it all this really started happening around 4 to 5 o'clock. Just kids started like getting into fights and police cars. Well, like just security guards kept on going like to one point of the park to the other point of the park. Like it was just a whole crazy mess.
Yeah.
And I just think like times like that, like y'all really gonna act up on Juneteenth of all days, where I thought we as Black people were supposed to like love on each other, like for just at least like a day, like have that sense of solidarity with each other, especially with all the things that have been going on in Buffalo, especially with white supremacy and all that stuff. You would think that we would like have that sense of awareness, but it's just all this petty stuff. Like it really needs to be put to a side.
It's like this. It happens, but I feel like it's this small group of people.
Yeah, you're right.
And it just so happens to happen like every year, but it's not like I don't want to make the minority the whole.
Yeah,
that's part of changing the narrative.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Making a perspective different on how we see ourselves and other people see us.
Yeah, but I just feel like all of that, like
it's unnecessary.
Yeah, there's just the work to change a narrative, and then you got like just these people trying to like put that narrative back in people's minds. Like, oh, Black people, we always doing crazy stuff, always getting into fights and stuff like that. And I don't want that to be the narrative, of course, but it's just something that I hope that everyone like in our age bracket should be aware about, especially special events like that.
Yeah, if you got like.
At the very least,
I don't know. It's like you.
And I know I shouldn't be saying this, but at the very least, y'all should take that somewhere else than just doing that here.
And the things they beef over, it's not
just
even like for what.
I don't know.
You know what I mean? It's like why make it all that? It's just unnecessary. Doesn't bring any good. And more harm actually.
Yeah.
Discourages people from wanting to come and be around. I've heard that a bunch sometimes, and they're not adding to the joy or collective of the people in general.
Yeah,
they're taking it away, and that's it's not a pretty thing. You'll be remembered. Hopefully not on a mugshot, or But speaking of police, they cut a lot of the streets off.
Oh yeah,
parking was crazy.
Yeah, but listen, to. The security, it was low-key top-notch. Yeah.
Good. Yeah, I mean, I was happy with it. It was like, I remember driving around trying to get into there. It's like 12 blocks away. I had to get in.
For real.
Find a spot.
Yeah, you have to be doing a lot of walking
and
there.
And then as time went on, it seemed to like stretch. Like how far you would have to go back to find some kind of parking or get through.
Yeah.
And it was like people just yelling down the street, go back, go back. Turn around.
Yeah.
You got people trying to reverse. Other people turn around in the middle of the lane. People yelling at each other.
But shoot, at the end of the day, respect to the Buffalo police for making the event safe, because I feel it's funny. I low-key thought it was going to be like a lot of like almost, well, not no people there still Juneteenth, but just not the normal crowd we would usually have for Juneteenth. Like with the Buffalo shooting, I felt like people thought, because, well, I ain't gonna lie, I thought low-key like someone has to be plotting like to target Juneteenth. Like that's probably the perfect opportunity if someone was gonna do it. So that was, I ain't gonna lie, that was on the back of my mind. But at the end of the day, like nothing happened, and we have just mad respect for our police department for keeping us safe. I hope they continue to do that. But
and the thing is like I feel like that helps with building the relationship between the community and the
absolutely.
And in previous years, I think because it wasn't, I think on top of what happened with Tops, like it becoming a national holiday, turned it into something bigger, and much more interactive, much more inclusive, and it added like elevation and more people coming, and really creating a space where you got more diversity in a sense too, and you just, it's awesome. Yeah. And I lost my train of thought.
That can happen sometimes. Yeah, but no, what you were saying before, this stuff like that really bridged the gap between police and community. Like the thing, that's the main thing I've been saying for years, and also, here I didn't expect to be giving so much credit to the police, because during the event they were actually like interacting like with some of the kids, like just talking with them, hanging out with them, and like that's something I mad respect. And it's stuff like that that's the type of reform I always thought needed to be done with police, is like make it mandatory that they show up to a lot of these community events, districts that they'll be policing in, especially districts of people of color. I think that, like you said before, bridges the gap between the police and community, and it also changed that narrative within the police officers themselves, because let's be for real, and the data says that there is a racial bias that police has when they do their policing, especially like to arrest and how aggressive they'll be. But I feel like when you have events like these, that's when we see that type of like narrative like dissipate in them, and the way they go about treating people like us, like it changes. So that is something that it was very credit. I give them massive credit towards them.
Yeah. But any final thoughts about Juneteenth? Some things you might want to see next year, or
more food. You know me, I love food.
There's always that hot dog and burger, and I want something unique.
Yeah,
I need an African dish.
African dish. What's there African dish?
I need a vendor out there that'll make an African dish next year.
Well, I don't know about it. Well, I will tell you what a vendor I want to see, and I wish they were there. The hoagie stop. Honestly, that would have been us. Yes, and I'm not saying that just because I work there, but their hoagies, they genuinely do be smacking. And I'm telling you now, if next year they have to come to Juneteenth and share their hoagies with everyone. Because remember Brian, he said that he had like people like waiting like down his street for his hoagies. So
Byron, we got a challenge for you. It's not really a challenge. I'm suggesting. You'll be at Juneteenth.
Yes, next year.
Yeah, more food vendors. Hot dogs and hamburgers, cool, But, I want some diversity in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Was there? There could have been some African dishes there, but I probably didn't see it. But I can tell you this. The African shea butter, I love it.
It's doing wonders.
Yes, hopefully. Yeah, hopefully it looks like I'm glowing. Well, I only used it one day, so we'll see.
That's how powerful.
Yes, black definitely do not crack. But once again, Juneteenth is just not only just about like celebrating our like Independence Day as black people, but it's just all about like just celebrating black people, like for black people as well. I just feel like as people always say, Black History Month in February shouldn't be the only month we're celebrating like Black history and stuff like that. This is also a good time to like to know our history, where we're from, and just like how powerful we are.
Did you know that this was like also Black Music Month?
Black Musical? No, I didn't know that.
Month. I didn't know that either.
Oh, well.
I mean, I wasn't really like listening for songs like that. But I feel like that's more low key than it's been kind of like shadowed.
Yeah.
A little bit. I didn't know that before.
Well, because like when we celebrate Juneteenth, we're just celebrating like not only our culture but also our independence as Black people as well.
Our freedom from slavery.
Yeah.
Enslavement.
Yes, because this is our Independence Day, and I don't even mean that to be like edgy, controversial. Like this, it literally was our Independence Day, so nothing shouldn't really be. No one should, because some white people, you know how they would be like, oh, I'm offended. Like Independence Day is celebrated on July the 4th. Well, not for everyone. So
yeah,
you know,
even after like the freedom, it was like. Not legally.
Yeah,
not legally. But.
Well, honestly, I would say our freedom is still like restricted to an extent because just systematic racism still exists. Yeah. So still have a long way to go. You know, I feel like we make strides every century, but they shouldn't be that like lucid. So we definitely need to like go a long way in order like to have like true Black independence, and hopefully we could get there one day. But anything else you got?
Nope, that's all I got.
No. All right. Well, guys, this is our little Juneteenth special edition of the Buff City Central podcast. We want to give a huge shout out to Generator Z for helping us fund this podcast. Also, give a huge shout out to Breaking Barriers Buffalo, our parent organization. If you are a young man of color aged 12 to 24, please join our program. You would be a good fit for our program. We're just trying to change the narrative surrounding young men of color. So that's all we got for you today, man. Hope you have a wonderful day. Peace.